Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we are doing a Draw This Again from 2016. I've drawn this Evil Ariel all the way up until, well, this year. I did a 2020 redraw of my Evil Ariel. I did a couple different things this time. There's a lot of things from the old ones that I like, and there's a lot of things from the old ones that I do not like. I think my 2019 actually really sucked. I really did not like my 2019 one, and I think with this one I definitely stepped it up. I am doing it digitally, so it's a lot easier, but I do think I definitely stepped it up this year from last year because I like 2018's way more than I like 2019's. So, with that said, I did change her up a little bit. I actually made a background, which is I never do that. So I'm pretty happy with the background. The castle was pretty difficult, but I kind of simplified it and made it look as similar as possible. I don't show you the whole background because the background took me, I think, alone, probably 6 to 7 hours, just because it's a lot for me. So having the background, I cut a lot of it out. I just show you the basics of what I do with the rocks because the rocks were probably one of the harder things to do just because I was trying to get the dimension and everything and the coloring. So I don't show you everything, I just show you this little bit and I hope that's okay. I didn't want this video to be, 14 hours long. So, with that being said, I sped through this quite a bit. I am using a very textured water brush to do this. I do like how the look of it is. By the way, a little bit of a disclaimer. They are a little gory. It is an Evil Ariel for a reason. And I thought this was the perfect time to do it because it is Mermay. And everyone's home anyway in this quarantine. So, well, not everybody, but a lot of people. Thank you to all of our workers, the essential workers that are out and having to deal with this and putting themselves on the line and risking themselves. Thank you for all you do. But anyway, I did finish the background now, and this is where I start doing Ariel. I still did the twist on her tail, which I like, but I also did it almost kind of looks like a machete on her tail. It's that single fin, almost like an eel fin, and I really like the looks of that. So, and I also did Eric very up up in front and center because I thought that would be nice. He's not in the same what do you want to say? Like the same plane as the rest of them. So he's more in the front, and Ariel, Sebastian, and Flounder are all more in the back. So this is just rough line work, this pink. I do it much better line work in green. But I also kind of skip through that because you see me already doing like a lot of the line work here. It's just a little bit of fixed up line work so her eyes don't look so, weird and the mouth doesn't look weird. Yeah, da 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 da. So I do stick with Flounder having the hand or arm in the mouth, and I do stick with Sebastian having his eyeball in his claw, which I thought was really cool. Also, I love how the teeth look colored. They kind of look really derpy, and he just has these squared, weird teeth going. So, yeah. So, at just about this point, my thing stopped recording because I ran out of space. So I didn't even realize, and I got a lot of the skin done. Here I am zooming in to show you the final sketch, the final green sketch. But I am doing it more of a muted gray tone because she's supposed to be, gross and ragged and evil. So she's very emaciated, which I did look up some pictures for emaciation, which is very sad. Don't do that, please. It's so sad to see. But I did. I looked up the emaciation and how to shade like the ribs and stuff. I know she only has four technically ribs, and I think we have 6 each side. So whatever, happens. But I do a lot of the skin. I do this all mostly with that textured water brush that I have from, I just got it from, you know, the free SAI brushes that you can find pretty much on DeviantArt, and if you just look them up, you can find them. So I am doing this lineless look again, which I do really like, and I do want to get better at it. I think I just do too much of broad shading, and I need to really work on like doing different colors and different shades and stuff like that. I am only changing, I'm putting more black into it than I am putting in just a different color or a different hue, I guess I should say. But for something like this, I think it works because, you know, I'm trying to make her more gray and gross and, you know, yucky looking. And I also did change her eyes from the natural Ariel eye look because I just don't like that rounded, weird look. Um, the actual princess is beautiful and I love it and it's iconic, but for my style and the way that I do it, I can't. It just looks weird to me. So I just go with my normal eyes. And I decided to go with no pupils and just, you know, white creepy eyes. I was gonna do them black, and then I thought, well, then you won't be able to tell where the eyelashes are and where, you know, her eyes start and her eyelashes end, you know, kind of thing. So I do keep most of the colors the same. They're just very muted and very gray because I want them to be muted and gray. Also, I tried to give her like fangs, but it looked like she just had some buck teeth. So, decided to get rid of those. I also put some cracks on her bra to give it a more, you know, broken, gross look. And later on, I do put some textures in, and I think the texture for the skin looked freaking cool. I thought that was awesome, and that was a very smart idea to do. I don't usually put textures in, but I did, and I'm very glad that I did that, and you'll see that here soon. I thought that was really cool. Also, I don't keep her hair this big and bulky. I know it's way too much. Like, she has way too much head. So I do, you know, bring it down a little bit. Not just yet, but I will, as I put stuff through. There we go. There it is. There's normal. And now here comes Sebastian. I know you guys didn't get to see how I drew him, but I did just reference this picture here. Just flipped it and used that picture because in all of my others, if you saw, I didn't use references in any of those. So my Sebastian always looked a little weird. So using this one, I didn't, like, don't think for a second I traced it because I didn't. I drew it. I completely drew it. Um, I just, you know, I don't know. The other Sebastians always looked wonky, so I decided to really bring in a reference picture, the way that it looks, and just use it that way. Just draw from reference to make it look as, you know, as good as possible. I did decide to give him the black eyes. And again, Sebastian's of course holding his ball. And I'm just using the reference picture of Ariel to get the right green, which is, it's her green but muted. And then her tail green, which is also muted. And I also make her fin translucent along with the fins of Flounder. And then I put in the cuts just like in, I think all of them, but 2017, I want to say. I put the cuts through the fins, which I really do like the look of. And then the bones and the spines, of course. Giving them shading, and then a bunch of blood. And these are supposed to be old cuts, so to me they're not bleeding anymore. They're just, you know, bloody. This is where I start messing with textures. So I decided to make this the texture of her fin, and then here's where I decide to put, you know, the creepy texture on her skin, which I think really, really works. And I have trouble with the fork, so I just, you know, copy, paste one side of it, make it very even and symmetrical. Put it in the hand, give it a little bit of texture, and then it's time to work on Flounder. I do try to give him like a furrowed brow with the shading. I was going to do red glow around the eyes just on the skin. Decided to not do that, and I'll do that on a different layer, and I think that looks really cool when it comes out. Then of course the shading. You always need the shading. And I decided to take the spots that are on his back and put them on a separate layer of their own. And here's where I do the eyeballs. And I'm still fixing up some shading. So this is where I'm messing with some tones, and I decided that one's the best, and I thought that was really cool. He looked very, very bloody and creepy and scary, so I went with that. Then the teeth, of course, with some blood on them. Always gotta have blood. Blood! Give him some gums. I did gray out Eric's skin tone just a little bit, just because, you know, he's underwater floating and dying. So I do that. Huh, said do. Sorry. Shade up the arm. The arm took me a little while to shade for some reason. I don't know why. It just, for some reason, it looked very, well, dead. I mean, I guess it's supposed to look dead, but it looked really dead. So I was really trying to find colors that would work. And then, of course, you gotta have the blood. The blood really works. And me shading more, and then realizing that the pinky is way too long. And then I have to end up smushing that down. And then I have to do the bones on his arm, which I just put a bunch of blood on. And then it's Eric's turn, of course. So he's pretty much, you know, pretty easy to do. The only thing that would be different is the eyeball, so his, or the non-eyeball, I should say. So I just put black in there and then put a bunch of blood coming out of the eye socket because obviously it was just pulled out and, you know, hacked off. So made his eyes a lot smaller than what they were. So we're getting pretty close to the end here, and I just want to thank you all for watching. I, you know, haven't done this since last year, and I hope it's okay. This is my 2020 redraw of Evil Ariel. I got this idea, this Evil Ariel idea from, I don't know who the artist is or anything, but there was an artist years and years and years ago that I saw that did all the Disney princesses creepy. Like there was, I think Snow White was a scarecrow and Ariel just looked evil, and there was a bunch of them and they were really cool. Or was Cinderella the scarecrow? I can't remember. It was just, they're really cool. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've seen them. They're good. But yeah, so he, you know, 4 years ago, I was like, I want to do an Evil Ariel. I think that'll be cool. So that's what I came up with, and I'm glad that I changed up her pose a little. I mean, not her pose a lot, but like she's more hunched over, looking down at, you know, Sebastian and stuff like that. Like she's got a little bit more to her. She's doing a little bit more. Um, Eric's still kind of static, but he is dead, so that's what I'm gonna blame it on. So, but I think it came out a lot better, especially than all of the other ones. I still really like 2017, I think is the one that I really like. But I do like this one. I put a lot of time, effort, and detail into this one. I mean, this literally took me a week. I just finished it up yesterday, so I do really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like. Why not subscribe, ring the bell to get more notifications, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!